It wasn't until 2002 when I was sort of doing a pilot study of looking at the Vietnamese American community here in San Jose and looking at sort of the demographic change, then the geographic change, and the cultural change that took place from 1975, which was after the fall of Saigon, up to 2005, which is 25 years. So as we're looking sort of the spectrum, I realized that, you know, this community, the Vietnamese American community, have done so greatly in terms of economic, economic interest, education. We're sending our kids to one of the best schools in the nation, and you know, we have all these entrepreneurs that are making millions, and we have all these mom and pop shops that are thriving. What is really lacking in our community? And so what I realized was that we lack a political voice. We have all these millionaires, we have really successful families, we have all these kids who are growing up and attending the best schools, but yet we don't have a political voice at the table. So when change are being made, we're not there to provide input. And so when I saw that, I was starting to look to see what was the reason, what is this gap? And the gap was that we don't register to vote, we don't go to the polls. And the reason why we don't do that is because it's very relative. And pretty much it happens across the board in all immigrant communities. And I'm sure you learned some of that in Professor Svarvetti's class, is that when you're an immigrant and you just come to a new country, what do you care? The first thing that you care about. As a family, as parents, you worry mostly of your financial state. You want to make sure that you have enough food on the table, that you have a roof over your kids' head, and that you are sending them to the best schools in the nation. So until that happens, you're not going to think about giving back to the community, right? And so that's what happened in the Vietnamese community. But it wasn't until after that when people were starting to realize that, well, you know, I made it, you know, I'm successful now. It's time to give back to the community. It's time to be politically active.